Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Sorry, I guess I thought we had 2 games left. We have 3 games left. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. We do have another afternoon game, 4:25 p.m. Eastern, and it's a big one. Buffalo Bills 6-5, 1-3 on the road. The Philadelphia Eagles 9-1, 4-0 at home. Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 46 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 6 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for this one. This one's going to be a lot of fun. The Eagles right now are -3 and -122 at Pinnacle. Other books have moved this to 3.5. My bookie's got it at 3.5. Bet Online has it at 3.5. Bovada has it 3.5. Pinnacle does not, but it is sort of a 3.5 because this opened -3 at -115 for the Eagles. It's now -3 at -122. Let's get into the total here in this one, and we have a 48 here. It opened at -107 to the under, now -113 to the over. Birdie bet the Bills at +3 here. And Ari Gold surprised to see the Bills at +3.5. This game's going to be a lot of fun. I wish it was the Sunday nighter, but Ravens Chargers will be fun too. Not as fun as this one. Bills snapped their 2-game. Oh, did we go over the cash flow here? That is interesting. We have 69% of the tickets and 80% of the cash on the Buffalo Bills, and yet this line's moving towards the Eagles. We have 65% of the tickets and 89% of cash on the over. So, Bills snapped their 2-game losing streak with an impressive 32-6 victory at home over the Jets in their first game since firing offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. They replaced him with quarterbacks coach Joe Brady. They outgained the Jets 393 to 155, scored on 6 of their first 8 possessions. Josh Allen was 20 of 32 for 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick. The pick wasn't horrible. It was at the end of the half. It was a Hail Mary, basically. Khalil Shakir caught 3 for 115 and a touchdown. James Cook ran 17 for 73, caught 3 for 29 and a touchdown. They were 5 of 13 on third down. They're second in the league, converting 48.1% of third down opportunities. They were just 1 of 4 in the red zone, but there was no pressure on them to put up 6 because the opposition was unable to score. They're third in the league in red zone offense, scoring touchdowns, 65.6% of their opportunities. It's amazing that you can have an offense that's second in the league in third downs and third in the league in the red zone, and the offensive coordinator gets fired. The defense was strong. They harassed Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle. They combined for 6 sacks and 8 quarterback hits. Rasul Douglas was very good. 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. Buffalo did not have an interception in their previous 6 games. That was a nice pickup, Rasul Douglas. They held the Jets to 0 for 11 on third down. That moved them up to 16th in the league, allowing 38.6% of opponent third down opportunities to convert. The Jets did score a TD in their lone red zone opportunity. They're 10th in the league, allowing touchdowns on just 47% of those situations. Taylor Rapp, it was scary. He moved his hands to calm people down when he was loaded into the ambulance on the field. But it's just a neck injury, and all the tests came back negative, and he could play this week. I don't know if he will, but it's not out of the cards. Teron Johnson and Dane Jackson were ruled out because of head injuries, so they're in concussion protocol. And Hyde, got hurt again with another stinger, and so he's been battling injuries now for a little while, and it's unclear if he will play. And you need him in there. The Eagles come in off a big 21-17 win at Kansas City. 9-1 now. First team to win at least 9 of their first 10 games in consecutive seasons since Peyton Manning's Colts. 05-06. Jalen Hurts, 14-22 for 150 yards and an interception. Devonta Smith got 6 passes for 99 yards. A.J. Brown was completely shut down. I mean, that's what Snead and McDuffie are doing. I thought that he's almost impossible to shut down. But he had 1 catch for 8 yards. DeAndre Swift was great. You had him in your same game parlay. 12 carries for 76 yards, touchdown, caught 3 for 31. They were just 3 of 11 on third down. And it's not very good for the number 1 ranked third down offense in the NFL, which goes to show you how good the Chiefs' defense is. They were 3 of 3 in the red zone. They're 9th in the league, scoring touchdowns on 59% of red zone opportunities. Pass rush got a sack and 9 quarterback hits. Kevin Byard got that huge interception. The Chiefs were 8 of 17 on third down. Those numbers for the Eagles haven't changed all year. They're 27th in the league on third down, 25th in the league in red zone defense. It's hard to imagine after what we saw from them last year and the bias that we have with them, and they're still 9-1. This is a fun one. Al Cervix says Bills need this bad. Eagles fat and happy. Let's see what Troy thinks about this spot. Take it away, Troy. Bills, Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field.
Man, this is a crazy game for me because like the Browns are for me this year, the Eagles were for me last year. And I've only bet the Eagles. I haven't faded the Eagles yet this season. But this is a team that I really want to be on their side opposed to fading them. But when you first start looking at this game, it's a perfect spot to fade the Eagles. Eagles coming off that Super Bowl revenge, massive win. First seed in the NFL, and they've been teetering on a loss for multiple games at this point. But hold up, though. You're telling me the Bills are catching 3 or 3.5 despite all this action and all the sentiment towards the Bills. It's just this is an extremely important number we're sitting at. But if you look at it, these home favorites laying 3, spreads that open at 3 at Pinnacle, 15-10 ATS, 20-10 straight up. Spreads that open at -3 and close at 3.5 are undefeated ATS. Spreads that open at 3 and close at 2.5, 5-1 ATS. The market move has been incorrect, even when it has moved towards the Bills in this case, but I think we're only going one way here. It looks like it's about to go to 3.5, and that's an undefeated trend based on the Pinnacle Sportsbook. But it's hard for me because I've been so much higher on this Bills team, I feel like, than the market in general. One of the best offenses in the NFL numerically. They've had a convoluted scheme with the offensive coordinator. They've had turnovers, drops. They didn't run the ball versus the worst run defense in the NFL. I think that's exactly why he ended up getting fired. Can this new offensive coordinator, can they change the pocket time for Josh Allen? I don't know. I think that's one of the major reasons he holds on to the ball too long. And historically, nothing has changed throughout his career. Man, this Eagles team has been so good to me. It's so hard to fade them. I don't know if I'll have a side in this game. I want to have action in this game super bad. So I don't know if I will at this point, but I was considering Bills futures at this point. I think I was looking at AFC championship would be I think it was plus 2,000 earlier, and I think that was extremely pricey. If this team could sneak in the playoffs, this AFC is up for grabs this season. It's not like the NFC where you think there's really only 2 contenders. I guess 3 if you want to throw the Cowboys in there. But the AFC is wide open. You got the Ravens, the Bills. I guess you could throw the Chiefs in there, even though I think they're one and done. There's just, I don't know. How do you feel? Do you think the Bills have a shot in the futures markets?
I did the same thing. I looked the same thing, but the Bills' next 3 games at Philadelphia, at Kansas City, at home to Dallas.
Could you imagine what the odds would be if they win all 3 of those?
How hard is that?
Fucking gotta be ridiculous.
So then they have their bye week after this game against Philadelphia, though. So that's going to be important for them. So, they can come into that Chiefs game with some momentum. So I looked at that. I even looked at the division plus 450 because I'm not how underwhelming have the Fish been the last 2 games we've watched them play. Yeah. So, but that's just so hard to get through those 3 games. I mean, could anybody put together a tougher 3-game schedule? So, it's a very, very, very. North Ender looked at it too. Yeah, it's just I looked at it too. I thought all about it, but I was like, and then quickly, this is such a great football game, and obviously, it's fun having action on great football games. Although this is a business, and we don't need to. It's not for fun, and that's why we don't need to reach and do something here. But what did you think of this total in Buffalo, Philadelphia? Because Buffalo is capable of scoring, and the Eagles' defense has not been good on 3rd down or in the red zone. And if the Eagles need to score, they will. What do you think of this total at 48? It opened up at 48 at Pinnacle, and there's been 6 cents of movement to the over.
I like overs in this range from 48.5 up to 52. Anything over 52, I'm immediately going to default. I don't think I'll ever bet an over 52. But in this range, it's been very profitable betting the overs, especially when the market starts moving that way. So over or nothing for me.
Yeah, I have some interest in it.
I'm going to make a note of that because I think that's definitely a good way to play this game.
I'm interested in it. I'm going to put some question marks there beside the over. Okay, I'm interested in it. That might be the angle that we take to the bank.